Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. If you've ever wondered how to make learning English fun and easy, you're in the right place. Today, I'll show you how you can improve your English through stories, an exciting and natural way to learn. So, let's get started. Have you ever thought about how children learn a language? They don't start with grammar books or long vocabulary lists. They listen to stories. Stories are a natural and fun way to learn any language, including English. Today, I'm going to show you how you can learn English through stories, even if you're a beginner. First, let's talk about why stories are such a powerful tool for learning English. When you listen to or read a story, you're not just learning words, you're seeing how those words are used in real situations. You understand the context, the emotions, and the actions connected to those words. This makes it so much easier to remember them. For example, if you read about a little boy who is happy because he got a new toy, you'll easily remember the words happy and toy because you can picture the situation. Now you might wonder, where do I find these stories? The good news is, there are so many options for you. You can start with short stories for children. These are written in simple English and are perfect for beginners. They often have pictures, which help you understand the meaning of the words, even if you don't know them yet. Another option is audio stories or videos with subtitles. These help you improve your listening and reading skills at the same time. So, how do you use stories to learn English? Let me break it down for you, step by step. First, choose a story that is interesting to you. It can be about animals, adventure, friendship, or anything you like. The more interested you are, the more you'll enjoy learning. Next, read or listen to the story one time, without worrying about every word. Just focus on understanding the main idea. What is the story about? Who are the characters? What is happening? Don't stop to look up every word in the dictionary. Just enjoy it. Then go through the story again. But this time, pay attention to the new words and phrases. Try to guess their meaning from the context. If you still don't understand, then you can look them up. Write these words down in a notebook, along with their meanings. After that, try to use these new words in your own sentences. For example, if you learned the word brave, you can make a sentence like, "The boy was brave when he climbed the tree." This will help you remember the word and also improve your speaking skills. Another great tip: listen to the same story many times. Repetition is key when learning a language. The more you hear the same words and sentences, the more natural they will feel to you. Finally, don't just listen to or read the story. Talk about it. Tell someone else what the story was about in your own words. If you don't have anyone to talk to, you can record yourself and listen to how you sound. This will boost your confidence and improve your speaking skills. One thing to remember: learning English is a journey. Don't rush it. Enjoy the process. Stories make learning fun and less stressful. So, pick a story, start today, and take the first step toward improving your English. Chapter 2. In the previous chapter, we talked about why stories are powerful and how beginners can use them to improve their English. Today, we'll go a step further and explore advanced tips to make your learning even more effective and enjoyable. Let's start with a question. Have you ever thought about the emotions in a story? When you feel the emotions of the characters, whether it's happiness, fear, or excitement, you connect with the language on a deeper level. So here's the first tip for today. Focus on emotions. When you read or listen to a story, try to notice how the characters feel. Are they scared, surprised, confused? Pay attention to the words or phrases that describe their emotions. For example, if a character is thrilled, it means they're very happy. If they're anxious, it means they're nervous or worried. These emotional words will make your vocabulary more colorful and expressive. Now let's talk about the dialogues. Stories often have conversations between characters. These dialogues are a gold mine for learning. Why? Because they show you how people actually talk in real life. Pay attention to how questions are asked, how answers are given, and how people express their feelings in casual conversations. For example, notice how characters say things like, "What's up?" or "I don't get it." These phrases are so useful for everyday English. Here's another great tip. Shadowing. Have you heard of this technique? Shadowing means listening to a story and repeating the sentences right after you hear them. Try to copy the pronunciation, tone, and speed of the speaker. It might feel strange at first, but it's one of the best ways to improve your speaking skills and sound more natural. Now let's make it more exciting. Instead of just reading or listening to stories, try to act them out. Choose a short story and pretend you're one of the characters. Read their lines aloud, with expression. For example, if the character is angry, say the line as if you're really angry. If they're excited, let your voice show it. Acting out stories helps you practice pronunciation, tone, and even body language, all of which are important for communication. Another fun way to learn is to rewrite the story in your own words. After you've read or listened to a story, sit down and write a short summary. Use simple sentences at first. Then, challenge yourself to add more details or use new words you've learned. This will improve your writing skills and help you remember the story better. And don't forget about connecting stories to your life. Ask yourself, how does this story relate to me? Have I ever felt like the character? For example, if you read a story about someone learning something new, think about a time when you learned something new. Try to talk or write about your own experience using the same words or phrases from the story. This will make the learning process more personal and more memorable. Lastly, let's talk about consistency. Learning English through stories works best when you make it a habit. Set aside 15 to 20 minutes every day to read or listen to a story. Don't skip days. Even a little practice every day can make a big difference over time. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap of what we learned in this chapter. 1. Focus on emotions to understand and learn expressive words. 2. Pay attention to dialogues for real-life conversational English. 3. Use the shadowing technique to improve pronunciation and fluency. 4. Act out stories to practice tone and expression. 5. Rewrite stories in your own words to enhance writing and retention. 6. Connect stories to your life for deeper learning. 7. Be consistent. Practice a little every day. That's it for Chapter 2. I hope these tips inspire you to enjoy learning English through stories even more. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. And tell me in the comments, what story are you reading or listening to right now? I'd love to know. Chapter 3. Welcome back to Chapter 3. So far, we've learned how stories are a powerful tool for beginners, and how emotions, dialogues, and techniques like shadowing can take your English to the next level. Today, we're going to dive into some even more exciting and advanced methods to help you learn English through stories in new ways. Let's get started. First, have you ever tried to analyze a story deeply? This might sound like a lot of work, but trust me, it's a game changer. When you read a story, don't just focus on the words. Focus on how the story is structured. What happens first, next, and last? How does the author use different events to keep the story exciting? By analyzing the plot, characters, and setting, you'll improve your understanding of English storytelling, while also learning new vocabulary and sentence structures. Another powerful tool is asking questions about the story. After you finish reading or listening, ask yourself questions like, what did I learn from this story? How did the characters change throughout the story? What words or phrases stood out to me the most? If I were the character, what would I have done differently? Asking these kinds of questions helps you think more deeply about the story. It's a great way to learn how to express your thoughts in English and improve your critical thinking skills. Now, here's an exciting challenge for you: creating your own story. Yes, you heard that right. After you've read or listened to a few stories, try creating your own. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be long. Start with a simple idea. Maybe a character who faces a challenge or an adventure. Use the new words and phrases you've learned from other stories. This exercise will help you practice both writing and speaking, while letting your creativity flow. If you want to take it a step further, join an online story group, or start one yourself. There are many groups where people share their stories, give feedback, and discuss the stories in English. Engaging in such a group gives you the chance to practice your English in a social context, ask questions, and learn from others. Plus, you'll get more confident with your language skills as you share your own creations. Another amazing tip is to use audiobooks and podcasts. These are fantastic because they help you improve your listening skills while exposing you to different accents and speaking styles. You can find stories in almost any genre: adventure, mystery, science fiction, and more. The best part? You can listen to them anywhere, on the bus, at home, or while working out. Listening to a variety of stories will help you get used to different vocabulary and sentence structures. And here's an idea you may not have thought of. Turn stories into a learning game. Challenge yourself by picking a story and trying to guess the meaning of new words before you look them up. Or you can create flashcards for new vocabulary. For example, write a word on one side and its meaning or a sentence on the other. This way, you can quiz yourself whenever you have a few free minutes. Don't forget that reading different genres of stories is key to improving your English. Every genre has its own style of writing and vocabulary. If you read fairy tales, you'll learn words related to magic and royalty. If you read mystery stories, you'll learn words related to investigation and clues. The more variety you read, the richer your vocabulary will become. Lastly, let's talk about patience. It's important to remember that learning English, like any skill, takes time. Sometimes you might feel frustrated or stuck, but don't give up. Keep reading, listening, and practicing every day. The more you immerse yourself in stories, the faster you'll improve. Before we finish today's chapter, let's quickly review the tips we've learned. 1. Analyze the story for a deeper understanding of structure and vocabulary. 2. Ask questions about the story to help improve your speaking and critical thinking skills. 3. Create your own stories to practice writing and speaking. 4th, join an online story group for extra practice and social interaction. 5. Use audiobooks and podcasts to improve listening skills. 6. Turn stories into a learning game to make it fun and effective. 7. Read different genres of stories to expand your vocabulary. 8. Remember to be patient. Learning takes time. That's it for Chapter 3. I hope these strategies help you get even more excited about learning English through stories. If you enjoyed this chapter, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And in the comments, let me know, what type of story are you going to explore next? Chapter 4. Welcome to Chapter 4. Congratulations on reaching the final chapter. By now, you've learned a lot about how stories can help you improve your English skills. We've covered everything from emotions and dialogues to advanced techniques like analyzing stories and creating your own. But in this final chapter, we're going to take everything we've learned so far and wrap it up with some key tips for continued success. Let's begin with something really important: immersing yourself in the language. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster you'll learn. And what better way to do that than through stories? Whether it's books, audio, podcasts, or movies, try to make English a part of your daily life. Watch your favorite movies in English. Listen to stories in English while you're cooking, or even read short stories during your breaks. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will become. Another key tip for learning English is reviewing regularly. Learning is like planting a tree. You need to take care of it regularly to see it grow. Go back and review stories you've already read. What words did you learn? What phrases or expressions did you pick up? Repetition is one of the best ways to improve your vocabulary and reinforce what you've learned. So, don't be afraid to revisit old stories. One thing that often gets overlooked is setting goals. It's so easy to get caught up in reading and listening, but if you want to stay motivated and focused, you need to set clear goals. For example, decide that you want to finish reading a book in English by the end of the month, or aim to learn 5 new words every week. These small goals will keep you on track and give you a sense of achievement as you make progress. Here's something fun to try. Create your own storybook. Yes, really. After you've read a few stories in English, why not put your learning into practice by creating your own? Write a short story using the new words you've learned. Make it as creative and fun as possible. You can even illustrate it if you want. This exercise will not only help you with your writing skills, but also boost your creativity and confidence. And here's something very powerful. Sharing your progress with others. Tell someone about your English learning journey, whether it's a friend, family member, or even an online community. Sharing what you've learned will reinforce your skills and give you that extra bit of motivation to keep going. Plus, you might receive helpful feedback that could guide your learning even further. Now, let's talk about something exciting. Learning through storytelling. Once you feel comfortable with your English skills, why not try telling your own stories in English? You can start small, perhaps sharing a simple anecdote or experience in your life. The more you practice storytelling in English, the more natural your speaking skills will become. This will help you sound more fluent and confident, and it's a great way to improve both your speaking and listening abilities. Lastly, it's essential to stay curious. Learning is a never-ending journey. Even after you finish this course, continue exploring stories in English. Discover new authors, new genres, new stories. Stay open to learning and experimenting with the language. Before we end, let's quickly recap what we've learned in this final chapter. 1. Immerse yourself in English by surrounding yourself with stories. 2. Review regularly to reinforce your learning. 3. Set clear goals to stay motivated. Create your own storybook to practice writing and creativity. 5. Share your progress with others for feedback and motivation. 6. Learn through storytelling to improve speaking and fluency. 7. Stay curious and keep exploring new stories and learning opportunities. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it with your friends who are also learning English. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite story? See you next time. And happy learning. Thank you for joining me on this learning journey. And as always, happy learning.